Cloudcast Media.
Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, nation's longest-running community podcast in our 20th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, 6 decades for doing great things for people in San Diego County, food insecurity, or it's homeless, or it's Alzheimer's. They are just with us shoulder to shoulder if you live in San Diego County. So thrilled to have a return appearance by this real cool group. They're called the San Diego Futures Foundation. We have Brandon Harrison, Executive Director, in the house. How you doing, Brandon?
I am doing great and glad to be here, Drew.
Oh, it's good. How long have you been with the organization?
I started June 24th, 2025.
Oh, my goodness. So you are getting close to the anniversary?
Yes, almost 1 year in the role.
Very good. I'm joined by my co-host, Chase Lasney. He is a business student at SDSU, and he has a question for you right out of the gate, Brandon.
So, Brandon, can you tell us a little bit about your mission at San Diego Futures Foundation?
Yes, I would love to. We actually just finished our 5-year strategic plan where we revised our mission, our vision, and our values because we've been going through a leadership change. So I just started, let's say, about 9 months ago. So our mission is to bridge the digital divide in San Diego County by connecting and empowering underserved communities through affordable computers, device repairs, digital skills, and workforce development opportunities. So basically, we are here to provide San Diego with low-cost computers, digital education, and make sure that no one and nothing thinks that they are disposable. We are here to give second life to technology and also to people who feel that they can't keep up with the technology advances.
Yeah. Listen, technology is my enemy. That just tells you how incompetent I am. I barely know how 2 tin cans and a string work, for God's sake, which means that there's no IT department at my house. Fortunately, my business partner who lives out of Chicago and Iowa, he is able to help me with these types of things. But in all seriousness, you offer such a great service. How long has the foundation been in business?
26 years. We just founded December 3rd, 1999.
Yeah, and just been doing some great things on this. Have you always been interested in technology, Brandon, yourself personally?
I love technology. I definitely have always been interested, but I will not claim that I am, like you said, the best IT person to fix anything. But I'm a passionate nonprofit leader in San Diego and love really organizations that can help the communities. That's why I love this role.
Yeah, exactly. How are you with technology, Chase?
Depends on what field it is.
Do you with computers and different types of apps? We know technology. If you sit there too long, can't let moss grow under your feet because things have changed. Next thing you know, didn't I just get that operating system? I mean, things are already outdated. I've only been back in 2 days.
That's right.
So talk about that. How do you stay on top of all the different changes in technology?
That is our main goal, is for us to stay on top of it, but also help the community stay on top of it. So we offer classes, it's called Tech on the Go classes, and that's one way that we stay on top of technology. So we help mainly senior citizens come to the library. So all of our classes are during the day. So it's like a Tuesday at 10 a.m. So it's not going to be somebody who's 20 or 25 able to come, but we're able to stay on top of technology. So we teach seniors how to use Google Suite, how to use photos and Google Maps, and how to use Zoom and different technologies that are ever evolving. So we have to stay on top of it so we can teach the community. So we train our staff consistently on new technologies. Of course, we have a contract with the city of San Diego to teach these classes. So they also want us to not provide old technology and old curriculum. So we're teaching our staff to also operate an AI class as well. So that was a big request from the city that we offer to the community.
Well, it's here in full force, whether you like it or not, and it's going to continue to, go huge exponentially, and we're talking about AI in a few minutes on this aspect of it. But I want to bring up something I think sometimes young folks like Chase don't think about, and that is the sense that because they grew up with computers, they've grown up with cell phones. I did not. Okay, you probably did because you're a young guy. But I didn't, and and of course now when things get thrown at you. And if you're looking at someone who's even 20 years older than I am, they definitely haven't seen these things. And I know a big push was made many years ago. We were working, I was at the Union Tribune at the time, running community and public relations with the Aging and Independence division of the county.
Yes.
And their whole thrust was as everything was starting to come through computers and digital versus mailed to you. Now you've got a whole group of folks. I don't know what this thing is, and it looks like it's a robot, for God's sake. And all of a sudden they're in the dark. And you still are working on that. Talk about how important that is to open up, this type of stuff for folks who don't have access, or if they do, they barely know how to use the equipment.
Since I started this role, that has been my main talking point, is seeing the importance of that. And that's why when you ask the question about our mission, that is our mission, to let everybody know that they are not disposable. The technology and themselves. So like you said, most people, once you get to a certain age, you're like, oh, you don't need to keep learning technology. Just stick to your pen and paper, but you do. And I love so much about our instructors. They're very patient, and it really takes that time. So we just had a class last week in San Marcos, and we did a class at a senior living facility in Carlsbad as well. And that is what you see when we go to these facilities. We're teaching about internet safety and how to have a password that has 15 characters, that has exclamation point, question mark, and uppercase, lowercase. And this one person said, the bank is supposed to help me stay safe in my passwords. I can't remember all these passwords. And we had to explain to them why you really do have to do this. And she was in her 70s, and she was explaining that this is just too much for her to keep up with. And we're like, it's so important, because that's where we are seeing a lot of the scams that happen. And we also teach classes on online banking and avoiding scams as well for seniors. And it's something that we see. We get resistance from them, though, because they're just like, no, this is what I want to keep doing. We're trying to have the patience and, like you said, show the importance of educating about internet safety and how to use a computer and to be safe online. And I think that's so important, because we really believe nobody should be left behind in this technology that's advancing so fast.
Well, cyber hygiene is important, whether you're a senior, whether you're Chase's age, and
Correct.
all that aspect of it. And now with everything, this computer we have that's called a cell phone, which is a computer, because everything is on it. If you're doing the iPhone stuff and all that business, one bad move, and now you've compromised all the contacts that are in your... Really? How did I do that? Because you hit some idiot button,
right?
And now every one of your contacts, your 700, are now exposed. Correct?
That's correct.
And I think it's just so critical to teach all that stuff with the computers. And I'm going to equate this. I think Chase is probably going to have to Google this. The beta machines back in the day, right? When they cost like $1,500, and now they're like 12 cents. You can get it in a cereal box and all that. Computers the same way. TVs are amazing. Remember the plasma TVs came out? They were $3,000. Now you can just buy a beautiful TV for $150 or whatever the case may be. Same with computers too. Are they coming down in price?
They are and they aren't.
Okay,
so
please explain. Thank you.
So that's where really our mission is to provide low-cost computers. So we have computers from $100 to $200 that are, if you look on Amazon, they're listed as $500. So we've had a contract for 26 years with the County of San Diego, and we get all of their computers from them when they're ready to refresh. The San Diego Futures Foundation gets the computers, and we teach young people how to refurbish them so we can get them back out to the community. So that's our main program, is our low-cost computer program. Computers are still expensive if you want a good quality one.
Right.
So we have a partnership with Hoover High School and other high schools close to us, and we're able to get graduating seniors who otherwise wouldn't be able to afford a computer, to get them something that can get them through their collegiate career for just $150. But we also, the biggest thing that I'm seeing in San Diego is businesses and small businesses and nonprofits not having the finances to buy new computers. So we give nonprofits, you get 5 free computers from us every single year.
Wow.
No questions asked. You can get them every year. So we just had an organization yesterday come to us to refresh their computer lab for kids, and they get 5 every year. And we also give $50 laptops as well to nonprofits and individuals as well each year. Because computers, yes, they're getting more affordable, but they're still not for many families. So that's what we're seeing, that a lot of families, we call it a financial hardship, that we get an application, and if you qualify, if you get any government assistance, you can come and get a computer with dignity and say, hey, I need a good quality. And no knock on, like you were saying, other companies, but Google Chromebooks, those are pretty cheap and they're moving fast, but they can't do everything that you really need.
Right.
It really is just surfing online. So we're able to provide good quality laptops for low cost.
Well, that brings up an interesting point. We're chatting with Brandon Harrison, Executive Director of the San Diego Futures Foundation. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. We're another edition of our nation's longest-running community podcast in our 20th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, joined by my co-host, Chase Lasney. He is a business student at San Diego State. You know, when you look at some of the computers that are out there now, or any technology, you'll probably use maybe, 5% of it?
Yes.
If that. 95% you won't do. And if you want to get hung up on trying to learn everything about your computer, you're going to drive yourself nuts.
Correct.
In this aspect of it. For the most part, I imagine, unless you have some high sophisticated job, which many people do, you just want to be able to send an email. You want to be able to write a document. You want to be able to store some pictures, do X, Y, and Z. For us who own our own businesses, certainly we want to do a little bit more than that. But I don't need to send a rocket ship, to the moon and all that business.
Correct.
Talk about that. Do you let people know, you're never going to use 80% of this thing? And don't worry the fact that you're not going to use 80% of it. Okay?
Yes.
But these are the ones you should do. How much do you spend time on that?
We definitely do that a lot. So that's what I feel is our bread and butter, is really holding people by the hands. When they come in, we do serve low-income communities. So they do have a lot of questions like that of saying, what about this? And the basic question that we might think of, how do I turn the computer on? Or how, like those things like that. But we do take the time to explain it. Before somebody leaves our store, we make sure that they know how to use the computer to the best of the ability. Like you said, we get a lot of people who say, I just want to watch my videos on YouTube. And that's it. I want to send some emails. But we show them how to do that, because sometimes they can't figure out how to turn the volume up or how to go on to the next video. But we definitely take time. Our staff is so skilled. And that's what I love about the staff. A lot of them have been there so long that they know the community well and who the customers are that we're serving. When they come in, they take time to explain how to use the device.
So let me ask you this. So somebody, if hearing the show and all that, well, these guys know a ton about computers.
Yeah.
If someone has a question or is stuck on their program, can they call you?
Yes.
Do they have to be a member? Do they have to pay a fee? Or, hey, I don't even know what this thing is on my computer. And, of course, Chase may know this. The easiest way to solve it is to unplug and plug again.
Plug it back in.
Right. Really?
Or just give it a little whack,
Yeah, that's right. I spent $500 and all I had to do is unplug the thing, and now anybody who knows anything about computers is the laughable part. No, you got to reboots it, and then it'll be fine, right?
Yes.
Exactly. But if somebody has a question, can they call you guys?
They sure can.
If that happened to be a member or
no membership at all. So we have trained staff who have their if you know IT careers, like it's CompTIA A+ certificate, they have cybersecurity certificate. Our staff are so well trained to answer and troubleshoot over the phone and virtually to help you out. We also have it if you can't figure it out on the phone, you can bring it in as well. Wow. And that's our other services. We have low cost computer repairs. It's $25 only to get the computer repairs. So
my goodness.
We're a nonprofit, so we really are trying to serve the community.
Sure.
Of course there is some cost we have to have, but it's $25 to repair the computer. But we have amazing staff who definitely take phone calls and walk people through step by step the best they can over the phone. And there's no membership, no fee for that. But if it does come to a point, you can bring it in as well to get it fixed.
Well, that is huge. And Chase, I don't know how good you are around your computer at all, but I'm always winding up hitting a button I shouldn't. And usually you can hit Control Z, okay, that went back to 0 or whatever the case. And when Control Z doesn't work, you go, okay, well, I'll turn it off and turn it back on. Nope, I still got this issue over here. So I wanted to call my business partner, who's an IT guy, and then he'll sit there, walk me through it, or he can control my computer as well on that. That is an invaluable resource that you offer in this area, because we all know with everything moving digital, talk about how important it is. Maybe when we come back from break, on as folks are not used to, probably more so now in recent years, but back in the day, as I was mentioning earlier, everything would come through the mail. So you get this application to fill out in the mail. Guess what? They're not mailing it.
Correct.
They got to go through the. I don't even know how to even open up the doggone thing. Let's talk about that aspect as well. You're always looking for new board members, so we'll talk about that. And we always save some time in the second half of the podcast, Brandon, what can our listeners do to support your efforts? Donations, volunteering, expertise, everything in between. When we return with Brandon Harrison, he's the executive director of the San Diego Futures Foundation. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We will be right back after this short break.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, nation's longest-running community podcast. In our 20th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. So thrilled to have in the studio with us, return appearance by this wonderful group, San Diego Futures Foundation, is their executive director, Brandon Harrison, joined by my co-host, Chase Lastney. He is a student at San Diego State, a business student as well. And Brandon, he has a question for you.
Yes. So, Brandon, can you tell us a little bit about your Tech on the Go program that you're hosting in public libraries?
I would love to. So this was founded around the COVID time where, like you said earlier, Drew, the County of San Diego, they're our main funder and sponsor. They really saw the digital divide grow a lot when the pandemic hit. So they've been funding this program for about 5 years now, and it's called Tech on the Go. And I'll just say this month. So we are at the Kathy Hopper Friendship Center, at the Sherman Heights Community Center, the San Diego LGBT Community Center, Valencia Park, Malcolm X Library, the Otay Mesa Library, and the City Heights Library, just this month. But the last 6 years, we've been all over the county teaching digital literacy classes called Tech on the Go. So we're teaching classes how to use Zoom, how to use the Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Word, how to use your smartphone, internet safety, online banking, like you said earlier, of navigating safely online with paying your bills, paying your SCG&E bill instead of getting it in the mail. So these Tech on the Go classes, they're 2 hours long, and the first hour is the content, the class of how to use Microsoft Excel. The second half of the class, people can, like you asked earlier, how can they get things fixed? They can bring their computer to the class, and they can ask questions, say, I can't figure out how to open this document or how to convert this PDF or how to email this. So the last hour of the class is troubleshooting and helping with their devices or any questions that they have. And that's our Tech on the Go class. And it's, like I said, it's all over the county, all the way down to Otay Mesa. We go to Escondido, Carlsbad, and San Marcos as well. But we rotate locations between city libraries and community centers.
And then, who are the main people that show up to these events? Great
question. So main ones are senior citizens. And the city has also mandated us, they really want us to focus on working adults as well to get upskills. So if they want to learn how to use Microsoft Excel, that they come to our class. But right now, our classes for April, they're Tuesday at 10:30. So most working adults won't be able to make it Tuesday at 10:30 class, but senior citizens will. But it's really a great time for them to understand and learn technology, but also it's a good time to do it as a group as well. So a lot of the students are senior citizens.
You know, anybody who, again, has been stuck because their phone is acting up, which is basically a computer,
yes,
or their computer is not doing what it is, knows how frustrating it is. And I need an answer. Who do I go to that can actually explain it to me in English,
yep,
and that so I can actually walk through it? Is invaluable. And as you know, what a great service you provide, that's a big understatement, Brandon, because as more and more people are becoming entrepreneurs, starting their own businesses,
Yep.
And now are doing desktop publishing. It's been around for a while now. But
Yes.
guess what? I don't have an IT department at home, right?
Right.
And I have to get this out because I'm doing some freelance work. If
Yes.
I don't get this out, I miss my deadline, I don't get hired. That
Yes.
is an unbelievable service you guys do,
Thank you. And it's free. I forgot to say that.
That's
It's a
even
free
a big
service we're
more
providing.
amazing. Yeah, right.
And like you said, we're also seeing that workforce component as well, that we are offering resume writing skills as well, and how to write your resume on Microsoft Word and do different things like that. Like you said, it is a lot of workforce development tied into this as well,
Right.
providing.
So you're looking for board members.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, good. Any type of board member? Are you looking for different categories? I know I've been fortunate to be on a variety of boards: Junior Achievement, Classroom of the Future, Council on Literacy. Some of the folks you probably have worked with and all that business. But are you looking for? We need somebody who is on the board that maybe has some legal background, or
Yes.
someone that has marketing background, or someone that has finance background. Are you looking for? Did I hit all three of them?
You actually did. Yes. So we have an incredible board. Like I said, the organization at 26 years old have a great board.
Right.
But right now we have a lot of IT professionals, which is great.
That's
but we
right.
need exactly what you said: finance, marketing,
Legal.
and legal. Those
Yeah.
are the main backgrounds
Yeah.
that we need.
Yeah.
And we're really also looking in the education space as well for any
Right.
board members who are available. And we only have 4 board meetings a year, but it really is for that governance and strategic planning and really connecting
100%.
the organization to the community.
No, what you do is just absolutely invaluable. We got to get you more involved in one of the organizations I've been involved with since it started. Classroom of the Future Foundation.
Yes.
1997 is when we did this. So what can we do? What can we do to support you folks? Obviously, board members is one of them. Listen, money doesn't grow on trees.
It does not.
What you guys do is it's amazing what you do in general, but donations,
Yes.
do you get grants? How do you get funded?
Yes. So our main funder is the County of San Diego.
Yeah, right.
But we also do get grant funding, and
Right.
the biggest way the community can help is those main 3: time, talent, and
Yeah,
treasure.
right.
So we definitely do need volunteers. We have an internship program for young people who want to learn and be in the IT career. We have a huge warehouse right in City Heights, right across the street from the Copley Price YMCA.
huge.
So if people want to volunteer, that's a big part, and get an internship and really get your hands dirty and learning outside of the theory. We partner with SDSU a lot, and Cal State San Marcos and USD. Students learn the theory of computer science, but we have a warehouse where they actually get to troubleshoot and work on computers and learn how to refurbish computers. If you want to do that, you can. And of course, as we said, the treasure part, we are funded through different grants, but our big thing is donating computers. So a lot of people think that we only take computer donations we get Qualcomm and General Atomics, the big names, but we also would love for the community to not have their computers go into the landfill. So you can bring in your computers and donate them,
Right.
and we can refurbish them and get them back out to the community. So that's the big thing, is individuals can also, like I said, donate computers, but also you can purchase low-cost computers as well. So that's the
Right.
main thing: time, talent, and treasure.
No, that's great. Do you work with computers to kids?
I actually have a tour with them next week. I'm
Good.
trying to. So I know she's been there a long time.
Yes.
So I'm just starting, and I wanted to partner with them as well.
Yeah, they've been doing great things for many, many years as well, and it makes sense. You guys are in some ways in the same space, in some
Correct.
ways not in this area as well. I want to get back to something that we talk about quite a bit on our Spotlight show, Brandon. We have a lot of senior groups that are on, whether it's St. Paul Senior Services or it's Serving Seniors or the San Diego Senior Community Foundation. Isolation is a huge issue.
Yes.
As we're getting older in this community, and I think probably would be the same to an extent with folks Chase's age, not as much, but isolation is a big deal.
Yes.
But especially with the seniors.
Yes.
The beauty of having a working, functioning computer, it connects you with whoever you want to be connected to. Talk about how that is so critical.
That's a part of our core values now, is actually that connection. So we are, yes, a tech nonprofit, but that human connection you cannot replace. When you asked earlier, I really felt that so important that our staff, you won't get I love AI, we all do too, but you won't get an AI chat box when you try and reach out to us. You will get a person who will help you. And to be honest with you, when you asked earlier who comes to our Tech on the Go classes, it is a social time for the seniors as well.
100%.
I'll be 100% honest. A lot of them come consistently to our classes because they enjoy being with each other.
Right.
And of course, learning the content. But the main thing is the connection that they get, and they really get that camaraderie to come together, and we love it. And that's the big part of what we get to serve our seniors, and we're getting more and more involved in different senior living facilities, and like I said, over the whole county. And it's really important to have that human connection. And it's no replacement for technology.
No, it really isn't. You know, whether it's Meals on Wheels that we've featured quite a bit of times, or Mama's Kitchen, you know, and sometimes the only time they're going to see somebody if they don't have family in town is when someone delivers something to them.
Yes.
Or what you folks do is spot on. You mentioned AI, and you know that's near and dear to our heart at Spotlight on the Community and Cloudcast Media. You know, my business partner and colleague Charles Prezzi, founder and CEO of Cloudcast, just did a presentation at our Classroom of the Future Foundation Summit. You know, AI can't out-human the humans. You know, basically, that wasn't the exact name of it, but it was close enough. You know, talk about that and how when you guys chat about AI, how do you instruct people on how to use it and what things they should look for?
It's actually what you had said earlier about business owners. So when we have our classes at the library, that's what we've been seeing that people, we teach basic digital literacy, but the AI classes that we're teaching, we are seeing business owners who want to come and see how can they make their business more efficient and less time as far as doing spreadsheets or trying to get things together like that. So we are trying to teach people how to use it responsibly and how to help you be more efficient in your business. But like you said, not replacing the human connection. As our staff, we are training our staff to get certified in different Google classes that are offered as well, so we can start teaching it through the City of San Diego classes that we offer, to use it responsibly and to use it as a tool, and not to use it something that controls you, but something that you can use, like I said, to advance and make your life easier and your business more efficient. So that's our focus that we're teaching. It's one of our focuses for our strategic plan for the next 2 years as well, to really implement in our curriculum, but also for the community.
No, I think that's great. So would love to have you make a return appearance, Brandon, with some, maybe a senior that has benefited from your services or a nonprofit that has benefited. So
great idea.
Think about that. And, you know, we always love to have the first show just talk about the organization, even though you folks have been on before. But now here's who's benefited from it. So if that works for you, we're going to circle back to you.
I would love, that's a great idea.
Consider that a done deal. Brandon Harrison, Executive Director of the San Diego Futures Foundation, thanks for coming in, and we'll look forward to having you make a return appearance.
Thank you for having me. Really
Very
appreciate
good.
it.
And Chase, last name, what do you think? You did a nice job. We just threw you right into the fire. You like this co-hosting business?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I work at Sprouts as a cashier, and I get paid to talk to people. So even here, I can keep that theme going of just talking to people, learning. I feel like overall, this is really great.
You're doing awesome.
Yeah, you did a very, very nice job. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. Let's get to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest running community podcast. In our 20th year, brought to you by the fine folks of Mission Fed Credit Union, 6 decades of doing great things for people living in San Diego County. And to our audience, we hope you enjoyed the interview.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.